This episode is a healing experiential around dialoguing with a part of yourself. You can find the full podcast around parts work at candicewu.com/parts. Hello and welcome. You're listening to the Embody podcast, a show about remembering and embodying your true nature, inner wisdom, embodied healing, and self-love. My name is Candice Wu, and I'm a holistic healing facilitator, intuitive coach, and artist sharing my personal journey of vulnerability, offering meditations and guided healing support, and having co-creative conversations with healers and wellness practitioners from all over the world. So this week we've been talking about tuning into the many parts of you for empowerment, healing, tapping into your wisdom, and to help you make decisions and find clarity in life. If you have had inner chatter where you just can't quite make a decision and you go back and forth, or you have certain triggers that keep on happening and they repeat itself, it might be helpful to check out who's talking, what part of me is engaged here or reacting. And this healing experiential will help you do that. So I'm not going to talk too much here. You can listen to the full podcast around this at candicewu.com/parts. It's around parts work, voice dialogue, connecting with the parts of you. So here we're just going to jump in pretty quickly and dialogue with one part of yourself. The most ideal way to do this is to do it in a private and safe space. If you like to do things on the train or the subway as you go in transit, that's fine too. It might just be a little distracting unless you're really good at tuning everything else out. But I don't recommend you're doing this while you're driving because I'd like you to visualize the part that you'd like to talk to. So wherever you are, find a comfortable place. Feel free to get some water, get a blanket or cozy pillow. And you can sit or lie down, whatever's most comfortable and safe for you. And I invite you to close your eyes if that feels comfortable for you, or look down. Just take a moment to release your attention from the outside world. Let go of any attention on work, stressors, life, relationships, anything that's weighing on you. And also just release your attention on the future, any worries, your laundry list of to-dos, just letting go and turning all of that attention towards yourself with love, with gentleness, with compassion. And if you don't know those emotions or energies, if they're not easy, just imagine what it would feel like to be able to feel love towards yourself, gentleness, compassion. Now we're going to invite one part of yourself to come forward so that you can connect with that part and have a conversation just like you would talk with a friend. So see inside of your heart what part of you you'd like to talk to, connect with. You might sense into what part of you you'd like to cultivate, grow into, or lead the way. For example, your inner wisdom, your higher self, your adult self, the artist in you, the enthusiast, the wise inner sage, whatever part of you that this part of you may or may not have a name, but just sensing into the part of you that you want to step into. The empowered part, etc. The other thing you can do is connect with a part of you that you'd like to understand more. Maybe that's a part of you that reacts in conversation with your mother or in a relationship that you have. Maybe it's a part of you that keeps on chiming in when you have to make certain decisions. Sometimes you don't know who's talking exactly, but you have this sense of, oh, the part of me that gets really angry when X happens, or the part of me that tells me I shouldn't follow my gut, the part of me that starts crying when someone gives me a certain look. So you don't have to pinpoint the name of the part of you, but just the part of you that has any little clue that leads to this part. So the clues might be a sensation that you feel, like maybe your fists tighten up. It might be an emotion that happens, or words that you say, words in your mind, thoughts. So take a moment to connect up with any words, sensations, an energy or a feeling sense of a part of you that you'd like to understand or connect with here. If you need more time, feel free to stop the podcast here and take some moments to look at what part of you you're curious about, what parts of you become activated, or what parts of you do you feel you want to empower. And if you're ready, let's continue on. And as you close your eyes or look down, start to feel into that clue towards the part of you that you'd like to dialogue with here. And call forth this part of you that has this feeling or words, or the part of you that you can name that you'd like to talk with. If you're not sure about who this part is, you might ask, who's talking? What are you, or who are you? And just connect with this part. See this part and acknowledge just exactly how this part shows up. Notice if it looks like a part of you or someone else, a creature, a color, a shape, figure. Be open to however this part of you shows up and is. And as you look upon this part of you, ask it, what's your story? Or what would you like me to know right now? And listen without any filter, without any judgment, from a space of the heart. Not where you're analyzing or thinking about the response, but just asking and listening. What is your story? Or what would you like me to know right now? Just see what comes into you, what feeling, image, thoughts. Usually these are just a flash of a thought or a sense of something, and they can happen pretty quickly versus the analyzing mind trying to think it through and walk it step by step. This doesn't really have that kind of logic because it's wisdom that's trying to surface to you. You might ask this part, what do you desire for me? What is your wish for me? If this was a reactive part or hurt part, a part of you that's feeling something, ask them about it. What makes you feel this way? or what's happening right now. And as you listen, acknowledge anything this part is sharing with you in whatever way it's showing you. And let it be free to express in all the different ways it can. You might ask this part, when do you show up? And listen to anything it says. And how did you learn this way of being that you are? Where did you learn, or who did you learn from, if anyone? You might ask, is there anything you need from me right now? And be open to anything it shares with you. And if it tells you something that it needs from outside of you, see if you can imagine that for this part of you. Or go deeper and see if there's something underlying that emotionally that this part of you wants to have. And is there anything you need to feel free or safe? And what can support you in thriving? Feel free to ask, do you have any other messages for me? And now also feel free to ask anything else that you would like to know, would like support with, or would like to understand. And give this part of you the space to tell you exactly in their own way. And now thank this part for showing up. And surround this part with love. And release your attention on this part of you or this part. And just come back to your sense of yourself, your being here and now, your body. Feel your breath just as it is right now. Start to give a little movement to your body or deepen your breath. Stretch if you'd like to. And when you open the eyes or gaze upward, just do so gradually, letting yourself arrive back in the space of here and now. And as you feel yourself present here, feel that you are yourself. And reflect back on the experience of this. What part were you talking with? What did you learn? And just notice how you feel at the moment as you gaze upon this part of you that you're talking with. or as you embody this part of yourself? How do you feel now? And you might take some more time or repeat the exercise to connect on another day or to give yourself more time with this part of you. See what wisdom you discover as this evolves. And now that you've connected with this part of you, it's my guess that this may continue to grow or open up for you. If this was challenging for you or hard to do, hard to see or visualize a part of you, that's okay. If you practice it again, if you have that curiosity, it might become easier. Or I recommend practicing the second experiential, where I invite you to stand in a part of yourself. And that can really be a game changer because you can really feel in your body differently and hone in on just this part of you, isolate it so that you can really get to know it. So just observe as the day goes on and the week goes on, just what happens with this part of you. If you're able to connect with it differently or feel differently in the scenarios that you're in, that this part of you can be brought forward or recede back a little bit. If it was a younger part, you may not want your younger part to lead when you're in your career and job. You may want a more empowered part of you or a resourced part of you to step in. So be gentle with yourself and curious and compassionate. Just allow this to be more of discovery for you, more play and understanding of yourself. Perhaps it's painful and brings up some emotions. Just allow those to continue moving. And if you ever need support, feel free to reach out to me. I'd be happy to work with you or give you some resources on what can support you the most. Thanks so much for tuning in today, and check out the second experiential if this was interesting for you or if you'd like a different spin on things. Take care, and I'll leave you with a little music to end.